girl's right about the shoe. The shoe was not the same in the picture in court as the shoe pulled from the evidence bag by Trooper Bukake.
And you mentioned you're at the hospital. There was a sneaker. One.
Yes.
Bukake!
Woo! Good evening, friends. I hope everyone's doing well. It's great to see you guys. Happy Monday, if there is such a thing. So yeah, man, some interesting things happened today. There was a Kelsey Fitzsimmons hearing today, which was pretty uneventful, but there was a motion filed, and there's something pretty interesting about that motion that was filed. And we're going to talk about that. And some developments in the Enrique Delgado Garcia case. Interesting developments, as a matter of fact. You might remember that case. A while back, there was a certain creator who was so invested, and then poof, was no longer invested anymore. Tends to happen when certain cases don't generate a certain amount of views. Tends to happen. But anyway, but it does involve the Massachusetts State Police, of course, but it also involves the Boston Police, which through independent journalism, Aiden managed to put a connection together, which we will go over. Aiden, me being Mr. Media Turtle Boy. Yeah, we're going to discuss some of that stuff. We're not going to get into any of the, anything that is drama related or, we're not going to get into any parody or satire really. But I will tell you that, what's up, Mazza? It's good to see you, buddy. I will tell you, hold on. Cherry is posting the links to support both Aiden and Kelsey. And I'm pinning that to the top of the chat. I know this is not going to, I saw people asking, is this going to be members only? No. Why would it be members only? I only do members only streams when it comes to, I guess, what people consider to be drama related or satire or parody stuff that we're just bullshitting around about. And the interesting thing about that, let me go ahead and I'll shill my memberships here real quick. I'm going to grift for a moment. So what I'm going to be doing moving forward, because I did say, I mean, listen, I tried to hold back. I did. There was a certain little network of YouTube creators, if you want to call them that, who really went after me and Aiden and a couple other people, and without any scruples at all. And so I didn't really address them too much because the law is involved. But at this point, I mean, there's nothing illegal about more satire. But I laid off of them. I took it nice and easy because threats were made against me, and there was doxing that took place. And when you go real life, then that's when it stops being fun. But then they went way too far, and they colluded with a very public psychopath to stalking too. Yeah, thank you. A psychopath who happens to be very public and has been for months and months and months because she just needs the attention. And so they colluded with this person to try to defame a fellow creator in this community who has been nothing but kind and supportive. And he's done some dragging streams, some roasting streams, but not against anybody who didn't deserve it, who didn't have it coming, and who wasn't doing way worse to other people. And so they didn't like what he was saying, and so they decided to dox him and create a campaign labeling him falsely as an abuser of children sexually. And that's when I drew the line. That's when I just got tired of it. So I'm putting all my petty, I mean, my audience wants petty. Listen, my members, they pay good money for memberships. A lot of them paid money for memberships because they want the petty. So I can't think of anybody more deserving for the petty than these people, this Randy and his little network of goons. And so one thing I noticed in going over these guys and reviewing them and paying attention to them, it seems that there is clearly an abusive relationship that seems to be taking place. And it's caused me grave concern, as Judge Bev would put it. And I have recently I have recently taken on the title of abuse victims advocate. Now, I don't take on a lot of cases. If you're an abuse victim, chances are I'm going to turn you away and refer you to literally anyone else. I'll tell you, go find another one that's reputable. Because my expertise and my insight is going to be strictly reserved to help free James Jackson, because I personally believe that James Jackson is in an abusive relationship at the hands of Randall. So my membership streams moving forward will focus on this quite a bit. We're going to analyze, and then we're going to see if we can come up with some solutions that might help James. And we're going to provide the members only content platform as a safe space for James. And even for Randall as well, if Randall wants to discuss whatever trauma he might have experienced to cause him to be this abusive person to his friend, his so-called friend, James Jackson, then that's what we'll do. What we want to do is fix the problem. We don't want to judge. That we don't do. So it's very important that we leave this space open. And so the next live stream to analyze this issue is to be announced. But I really appreciate all you guys, because I know all of my supporters, all of my members here with memberships, they know, and they see this and they feel this and they want to help. I know they do. Now, again, I want to be very clear. Even though I am now a self-proclaimed abuse victims advocate, I am reserving and focusing all of my energy, and I mean hyper-focusing my energy as an abuse victims advocate, a self-proclaimed one, by the way. I'm going to be doing that solely to help James, because I believe he's got a good heart, and I feel I was hasty in being so angry with him instead of exercising more empathy, because he could just be reacting to trauma from the abuse that he is currently engaged in, the abuse that he is subject to, seemingly. Sue, thank you so much for gifting a membership. Amazing. And Dizzy, you are good too, okay? Don't sell yourself short, Dizzy, because you're good too. This is a good community. This is a helping community, okay? This is what we do here. This is a helping community. This community is a safe space, okay, for specifically one abuse victim. And that abuse victim seems to be James Jackson. And I want to help him. And I think all of us together collectively could do that. I'm sorry, I needed a second. Thank you. Lauren Elizabeth just became a member. Welcome to Logic. Welcome to Logic. Yeah, people. So that's the members only stuff. But here we're going to continue with updates because we still have shit to do, folks. We got Turtle Boys to free. We got Kelsey Fitzsimmons to support. We've got Enrique Delgado Garcia cases to follow up with, folks. It's necessary. This is what we do here. We haven't stopped doing that. Let me pull this up real quick. Let's now the Kelsey hearing wasn't streamed today. But I have here the motion here. Wait, no, that's not what I'm looking for. Hello. Oh, I thought you sent me. Okay. Hold on. Let me take my fucking chances on Twitter here. One second, guys. I'm sorry. Wait a second.
I think we got a super cat. I think we...
Not that one. This is the right one today.
Oh, here we go.
I think we got a super cat. I think we got a super cat. Super cat. Super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat.
How dare you?
Robert, thank you so much. Randall only pulls his crap with James. He doesn't dish it to Brill or Kevy Kev. Do you notice that? Respectfully, this is not the platform for that discussion. I just wanted to give the members and potential members a heads up on what we'll be discussing in members only. That falls under that category. But I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And you are a member. I see. So we will discuss that next time we do a members only live. Thank you so much, buddy. My God. Okay, here we go. Okay, Maz has got some good stuff here on the Kelsey stuff. I'll just go over Maz's stuff here. And this stuff will be pretty quick to go over. I'll go over this stuff and then we'll do I'll open the phone lines and then we can just kind of hang out and talk shit. Deanna, it's good to see you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Wait, Mazda just texted me. Oh, okay. Yeah, this has all, I mean, do you want me to go over the whole motion? Because there's really only one thing. Like, they went over when the next, when they want to start trial and and all that stuff. And I got to be honest with you guys. Right now, my investment in the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case, like, is, I want to know what happens with the ex and her kid, and I think that she deserves to be treated much more fairly than that. But I want to be clear. I have not formed a solid opinion. I have a theory as to what happened when Kelsey was shot. But it is her word against the officer who shot her. And they were friends at one point. So who the fuck knows? You know what I'm saying? Like you got to think of that stuff. Like it's easy to go, oh my God, well, he was her friend. You know, how could he do that? But here's the thing is like, again, you have to look at, okay, well, they were friends. How much of their relationship do you actually fucking know about? I mean, let's be realistic here. So my point being is, I'm not saying that I doubt Kelsey's story. What I'm saying is, do I believe her beyond a reasonable doubt? No. Do I believe the case against her, the Commonwealth story and their case against her beyond a reasonable doubt? Fuck no. No, I don't. Especially because of the way that the judge has been behaving, which is what we're going to go over. But the thing is I have no fucking idea what happened between the two of these people. So I'm not going to sit here and just be all like free Kelsey, free Kelsey, free Kelsey, because I don't know what happened. I still remain, you know, waiting to hear all of the facts. But that does not mean that I don't support Kelsey, because I do support Kelsey Fitzsimmons right now 100% in the sense that the way that her case is being handled has been completely unfair. The way that she's been treated, considering her injuries, is completely unfair. So I absolutely support her, and I support everyone who supports her as well. I just have to get, when it comes down to the shooting, I have to get more information before I make up my mind and go, that guy's lying. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all I'm saying, you know. But I absolutely support her, and of course I trust the ethics and the integrity of Tim Bradle. Of course I do. So you know, he wouldn't be doing this unless, you know, unless he believed in his client. I don't think. Blessed Texas Lolly, thank you so much. Remember, for 4 months. I love and appreciate all you do. Keep being you. Thank you so much. It means the world, man. It really does. I might have a respiratory infection. I mean, it's nasty because like the better I feel, the worse that feels, and then I think I feel bad from that. And so like it's like fuck, I didn't go to the gym today because I was just like, man, I feel like if I go and exert myself too much, this is all going to come back. Like I feel like I'm still fighting it, and it sucks. And right, that's the way I'm looking at this right now, is I'm looking at this from a perspective of, you know, the justice system right now in Massachusetts definitely needs an audit, to say the least. It requires an audit and a total overhaul. So that's why I look at Kelsey's case. That's the terms that I look at Kelsey's case. I don't look at it in terms of I believe Kelsey. No, I don't believe that, because I don't believe in this case in those terms, because I don't know her, you know, and I haven't. There's not enough evidence to prove that her story is the credible one. As far as the details of what she's charged with. But I'd really like to know what the Commonwealth has on her in that case, where they're like, okay, is it more than just this cop's word? I mean, so I'm curious about that. All right, so Mazza posted a bunch of stuff from this. And right here it says ex parte communications with probation concerning a pending matter. Because apparently the issue here is that this judge, the judge that we listened to in that hearing, in that recording of that hearing, the judge ended up rage quitting the hearing. She pulled an Alex on Turtle Boy in that hearing and revoked Kelsey Fitzsimmons' bail and sent her back to jail, even though the probation officer testified saying, dude, she, despite excruciating pain, she still met the requirements. I'm just telling you that she deals with excruciating pain through these methods of having to meet her bail requirements. And so I don't know what happened. This judge got mad and revoked her bail and stormed out of the courtroom, which was really weird. Apparently, the day before that, the judge met with that very probation officer. What's up, my man? JC Music Man, member for 5 months. Kelsey's case is about her due process rights. Right. That's definitely my interest in it. That is definitely my interest in it. So it says here, undersigned counsel has recently been informed that Judge McCarthy Nyman had an ex parte and undisclosed conversation with Assistant Chief Probation Officer Jeff January on September 10th, 2025. This conversation occurred the day before the court sua sponte revoked Ms. Fitzsimmons' bail and returned her to custody. Cut off defense counsel, invited objections from the Commonwealth, walked off the bench when counsel was addressing the court, vilified ACPO January in open court, and was visibly shaking and angry. Counsel was informed by ACPO January and his attorney that Judge McCarthy Nyman, now, like, I gotta say that this is brilliantly written by, I'm guessing, Tim Bradle. Whoever wrote this motion, like, really threw some passion in there, man. I gotta say, it's pretty fucking amazing. I think this is, yeah. I actually want to read that part one more time. Undersigned counsel has recently been informed that Judge McCarthy Nyman had an ex parte and undisclosed conversation with Assistant Chief Probation Officer Jeff January, ACPO January, on September 10th, 2025. This conversation occurred the day before the court sua sponte revoked Ms. Fitzsimmons' bail and returned her to custody, cut off defense counsel, invited objections from the Commonwealth, walked off the bench when counsel was addressing the court, vilified Chief Probation Officer Jeff January in open court, and was visibly shaking and angry. Counsel was informed by ACPO January and his attorney that Judge McCarthy Nyman came to his office unannounced the day prior to this hearing. Holy shit. She sought to investigate the status of Ms. Fitzsimmons' compliance with probation terms and was informed by ACPO January that there was no violation. ACPO January recalls that he discussed the fact that he had email communications with undersigned counsel which appeared to upset Judge McCarthy Nyman. Holy shit. Dude, when I read this, I think of the movie JFK, the Oliver Stone movie with Kevin Costner, and hearing someone like there's someone monologuing, and then there's all this reenactment going on while it's happening. And I just picture this woman just fucking like showing up to dude's office and him being like, this has to be inappropriate. What the fuck is going on here? Like, wild. That raises so many questions. Actually, it raises one question for me. One question that just pops, you know? Like, when I see the question, it's like it's in neon lights and everything, you know? And it says, Dirk Diggler. No, I'm just kidding. This question is, what is this judge's personal interest in this case? Why is she getting in her car, GPSing the location of the probation office unless she knows exactly where it is already? Heading over there. And then rolling up to dude's office and being like, hey, so what's the deal with this Kelsey Fitzsimmons shit? And homeboy being like, what do you mean? Like, I could just picture January just standing there and being like, she did the breathalyzer. She had a hard time with it due to, you know, the gunshots and everything. But she passed. Anything else I can help you with? What is going on? Why did this lady roll up to the probation officer's office the day before the hearing? Like, that means that she was fucking thinking about this hearing the day before. I'm always picturing judges fucking doing all kinds of other shit with their lives, dealing with other cases, and then being like, oh yeah, this case, the day that they sit down at the bench on the day of the hearing. They look at their schedule. Okay, I got the Carney thing at 2:00. You know? And that's it. Drinking coffee, reading the paper on their iPad. You know, like, that's what I picture a judge fucking doing. Not, dude, this is fucking wild. Let me keep reading here. When ACPO, that blocks it. I don't know. Whatever. When ACPO January mentioned that his email is favorable to the defense, I don't know, to the motion filed for relief, McCarthy Nyman J. abruptly left ACPO January's office. There was no legal justification for the court visiting his office and conducting its own investigation outside the presence of defense counsel, off the record and without subsequent disclosure of to the evidence. This is wild. January recalls that he discussed the fact that he had email communications with undersigned counsel, which appeared to upset Judge McCarthy Nyman. So she got pissy and upset because homeboy communicated with the defendant's lawyer. I'm sorry, is there something ethically wrong with that? Is there something ethically wrong with a probation officer who has questions to the defendant, but the defendant's or the defendant's counsel speaks for her via email? Is there something wrong there? Am I wrong? Am I fucked up? So the judge is mad because Bradel and January are in communication with each other because Bradel represents Kelsey. Kelsey is the subject of, of the case. This probation is a case officer of he's a case officer of probation. Kelsey is a subject of this. Why? Who better for him to talk to in regards to her? He's got to communicate with her on some level. There has to be an understanding of what's expected of her to some degree. No? Wouldn't it make the most sense to cover everyone's asses? That she speak with her, that Mr. January, Officer January, speak with Kelsey's attorney so that there's no misrepresentation, no misunderstandings, nothing. Why would this upset a judge who should have a better understanding of this than anyone else? No. When ACPO January mentioned that his emails favorable to the defense was, I wish I knew what that said there. Was blah 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 to the motion on the motion filed for relief. McCarthy Nyman J abruptly left ACPO January's office. So she stormed out of his office like she stormed out of the courtroom the next day. Because, God, I wish I knew what that said, because it tells me that his emails were favorable to the defense, and I guess were going to be used in the motion to file for relief. That's fucking crazy. That screams personal. So she gets pissed off because I'm assessing we're likely attached. Thank you. We're likely attached. So let me read that one more time for the sake of context. When ACPO January mentioned that his emails favorable to the defense were likely attached to the motion filed for relief, McCarthy Nyman J abruptly left ACPO January's office. So she gets pissed off, storms out. This is the day before the hearing that she rage quit the hearing. So the day before that hearing, she shows up to the probation officer, ACPO January's office. It's undocumented. It's off the record. She's doing her own investigating because she's asking questions, which is completely inappropriate. It defeats, okay, follow me closely. Are y'all caught up? It defeats the purpose of a fucking courtroom. I want to know what is going on here. They need to, like, sorry, I didn't mean to scare you guys. They need to, like, this is really inappropriate. I've never even heard of that shit. Like, that's some Ken Mello shit, but a judge. That's what that is. That's some Ken Mello shit, but a judge. In due time. Need some Z's? Why don't you go take a nap? Unreal. There was no legal justification for the court visiting his office, and conducting its own investigation outside the preference of defense counsel, off the record and without subsequent disclosure to the defense. These ex parte communications concern matters bearing directly on the defendant's liberty, which was at stake unbeknownst to the defendant the very next day. Such conduct directly violates Rule 2.9, prohibiting ex parte communications, where a judge receives information outside the adversarial process and then presides over related proceedings. The appearance of impartial adjudication is irretrievably lost. You saw me struggle with that shit? Irretrievably lost. Meaning you can't get it back. It's gone. It's over. Like, there's no way that she's impartial at this point. This is unreal. This is amazing. So let me see real quick. I can't help it. When I see Grant, I giggle. I just passed by like a post of his and I just giggled. That's why. Okay. Yeah, that's wild, man. That is crazy. Like, I can't imagine any reason why this judge would not recuse herself unless she's just fucking dirty. Like, she's caught. But I feel like she's like worse than Judge Bev. I don't think she's going to do it just out of basic principle and stubbornness. That's what I think. And as I stated this morning on my clever walk, and I didn't give props to Kid Rock either. It's really important. It was really nice to wake up today, Monday, February 9th, to a United States of America. The dueling halftime shows really brought the awareness that they were looking for to the entire country. Everybody is more educated, and now we're all united. So I want to thank those artists, and I want to thank the NFL for feeling as though their message, sending this message to the rest of us rather than entertaining us during halftime of a really boring, horrible game, that it was much more important to send a political message. So thank you, Bad Bunny and Kid Rock, for educating me on being a better American. I feel so much better today. So thank you guys. I had no idea. I had no idea that there was this thing called the Hispanic culture. I had no idea. I had no idea that country music was American. No clue. No clue. I'm blown away. Blown away. So Hold on here. Now, moving on here. We're going to watch this presser because people, Enrique Delgado Garcia, I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple of years ago, there was a training exercise that allegedly took place, and a young man, a young cadet for the Massachusetts State Police, died tragically. And we had questions. We already had questions for the Massachusetts State Police in regards to Karen Reed's case, Turtle Boy's case. And so then we had questions about this. Mainly, we had questions. So, but no answers for quite a long time. But now, today, we have some. And we're going to watch this development here and go over it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. On September 13th, 2024, Massachusetts State Trooper Enrique Delgado Garcia died while training to become a Massachusetts State Trooper. He sought to become a state trooper to fulfill his dream of serving and protecting the people of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Shortly after Enrique's death and after consultation with Worcester District Attorney Joe Early, I appointed an independent investigator, Attorney David Meyer, to review the facts surrounding Enrique's death. I want to thank Enrique's family, his friends, his fellow trainees, and the public for their tremendous patience as this process unfolded. I know that to some, this process has felt long and opaque. Independent investigations are careful and thorough by necessity. In order to maintain the integrity of their process, certain aspects cannot be shared with the public. That confidentiality is by design to ensure fairness for everyone involved. Enrique was a public servant. He began his career in the Worcester District Attorney's Office as a victim witness advocate. His family has spoken openly about his intention of being someone who made a difference in the community and his dreams of becoming a Massachusetts State Trooper. He was a son, a brother, an uncle, and a friend. Enrique should be alive today. Given the extraordinary nature of these events and the complexity of this case, it was necessary to appoint an independent outside investigator. Death investigations are typically handled by the local district attorney. In this case, however, Worcester DA Joe Early.
Yo, get your sound shit together. Let's go.
Because Enrique worked in his office as a victim witness advocate. Following conversations with DA Early, we determined that Enrique and his family deserved an independent
Hey, wait a second. I'm one of those too now. Victims advocate.
That was completely impartial and devoid of any perception or appearance of conflict. That's why I appointed Attorney Meyer. Attorney Meyer has extensive experience both as a prosecutor and a defense attorney, including 12 years in the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office, where he supervised, investigated, and prosecuted death investigations within Suffolk County. He has since served as partner at Todd & Weld. In this case, David investigated the facts of Enrique's death and the circumstances that surrounded it, just as my office or any other district attorney's office and its investigators would have done. My office was briefed about the investigation along the way and provided logistical support. Because of the design of the investigation, Attorney Meyer had his own independent team to conduct the investigation, and he had full autonomy in making investigatory and charging decisions in this case, which he will discuss shortly. I am grateful to Attorney Meyer for his thorough efforts to follow the facts and to seek accountability.
Okay, you're
to
not
those responsible for Enrique's death.
accepting an award.
In no way
Come on.
is this investigation and the charges it has yielded a condemnation of all law enforcement. The men and women who choose to serve protect our communities, often in difficult and dangerous circumstances. Our law enforcement members, including those who serve in my very office, are essential to public safety and the rule of law. I know just how much The Commonwealth benefits from the men and women in uniform who serve the public because I see it up close every day. Many officers go beyond their law enforcement jobs, mentoring young people, supporting community programs, actively working in our communities in a very challenging time to build trust. Their service deserves respect and recognition. And just as they protect us, it is our responsibility to ensure that our aspiring officers at the Massachusetts Police Training Academy are protected from preventable harms and to seek accountability when serious incidents occur. There is nothing more serious than the loss of a life. We can both honor the men and women who serve while also still ensuring accountability within a system, especially when someone dies. Lastly, while Attorney Meyer's investigation focused on Enrique's death, there must be serious discussion and action with respect to reforms. I know that the State Police Colonel, Jeffrey Noble, has already undertaken efforts to effectuate change, and I'm grateful to him, and I look forward to supporting him in those endeavors going forward. Because this is an ongoing legal matter, there may be some questions that I cannot answer in order to preserve the integrity of Attorney Meyer.
Does anybody else right now feel like they should be more impressed and more enthusiastic about this? Like, because I feel like, yes, man, this should have fucking happened, but I feel like, I think what it is for me is, why wouldn't they address the public and assure the public that they were doing something, that they were actually investigating? Because we were under the impression that they weren't doing jack shit. Why don't they feel a responsibility to the public to inform and reassure, hey, at least we're doing something here? You know what I mean? Like, I think that's my issue. Is like, especially with, and I blame the Massachusetts State Police directly for that. I feel like the Massachusetts State Police was more concerned with saving face. And you know, we would have looked at them more as an entity to respect, and just there's a few bad apples kind of thing. We're more likely to look at them that way had the Massachusetts State Police spokespeople been more forthright with the public. I feel like that's, you know, and I people keep telling me that that's not how it is in Massachusetts, Claire. Okay, I get it, you know, but I'm saying that's why I'm talking about it because I'm not in Massachusetts, and I'm here to say that it's not supposed to be like that. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy that these people do not give a shit. They don't seemingly give a shit about the public who pays the taxes and their salaries, pays their taxes and pays their salaries with their taxes. I mean, it just makes no sense to me. Like, it just seems like the whole thing was just a big fuck you. And it sure as hell seemed like they were the same way with the family too. They would, if I remember correctly, following the family on Twitter until I was kicked off, they were upset because they weren't getting any answers, right? It's been this long and we haven't gotten any answers. They kept seeing posts like that. Am I crazy? Or didn't that happen? Well, here's the thing is, Scott, I feel you, man, but I don't think that they slow walked it. Again, I'm one of the first people that'll tell and remind my audience when I'm going over a case. I'm one of the first people that will really, you know, really stress the reminder that cases take time. The purpose of an arrest is not to slap handcuffs on somebody and just get them off the street as soon as you can. That's not the purpose of that. The purpose of bringing charges on somebody is because you want to be able to prove in court beyond a reasonable doubt that those charges are going to stick, and you want to get them off the streets. You want them to be accountable fully and accordingly for the crimes that they committed. So it takes time to build a case. And we can't expect that and give, you know, the U.S. Attorney's Office that kind of grace, and not even the Massachusetts State Police. But I get it. It feels like because they weren't telling us shit, they weren't telling the family shit, and all this other stuff with Proctor is going on, and all of this good old boy bullshit is happening. So what are we supposed to think? We're supposed to think, that's my point. That's the point I'm trying to make, is they would have looked better had they been like, okay, there's a few bad apples here, but we are 100% an organization that is sworn to uphold justice, to seek out the truth, blah, 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 blah. And that's what I'm saying, Mazza. It's like, you're saying so much corruption in Massachusetts, but we wouldn't be thinking that so much if they had at least kept us updated. I'm not saying to share details of an investigation, but what I'm saying is just to at least give the public something, and as I understand it, there's a video, and that video never made its way to the public, and I wonder why. I'd like to know why that video never made its way to the public, because obviously there was an investigation going on. Obviously there's something in that video that is worth bringing charges to somebody. And the video never saw the light of day, other than a couple of people who it was shown off to. So I'm wondering, right? That's what I'm saying, Erica. I mean, am I out of line? Am I out of line? Considering this whole time, we could have really put these folks' feet to the fire. Dina, thank you so much. You're too sweet. Ann's family came to stand out at Morrissey office. They were upset not he answered. They thanked us for standing out and asked us not to stop. Oh, Enrique's family came out to the standout at Morrissey's office. They were upset that he has not answered them. So Morrissey or who? I mean, I feel as an independent journalist, one has a public responsibility. If they have something that raises public concern, or that would clearly raise public concern, that they would share it with the public, because that's ethically the responsibility of a journalist, no? But anyway.
Case. We appreciate your continued patience. And at this time, I'd like to turn over the podium to Attorney David Meyer.
Right.
Thank you, Attorney General Campbell, and good afternoon. On the day that I was appointed as independent counsel, I made a commitment to the family of Enrique Delgado Garcia, to the Massachusetts State Police, to the public, and to the criminal justice system, that I would conduct the investigation professionally, thoroughly, and independently. I pledge to follow the facts and the law, to perform my work conscientiously and responsibly, and to exercise my independent judgment to reach whatever results the facts and the law dictated. I committed not to permit the speed of the investigation, the length of the investigation, or any other outside factors to influence the investigative process. I owed that to the family of Enrique Delgado Garcia, to the Massachusetts State Police, to the public, and to the criminal justice system. When Attorney General Campbell appointed me, I knew nothing about the facts surrounding Enrique Delgado Garcia's death or about the State Police Training Academy. I had no preconceived notion of the potential outcome of the investigation. With the support of an independent investigative team, my assignment was to gather the facts through any and all available investigative means, taking as much time as we needed to do things the right way, and to follow those facts and the applicable law wherever they may lead. I fully recognize that the investigative process has been lengthy and it has been conducted in silence, without public comment, at least on my part. That silence has been purposeful. It is a direct reflection of the nature of the investigation and of my ethical and legal obligations. At the same time, I can assure the public that the investigative process has been searching, it has been exhaustive, and it has been without...
Okay, that's okay. in all fairness, I'm glad that he addressed that, because this is what we were just talking about. But he's misunderstanding the gripe. It's not that we unreasonably expect him to share details of an ongoing investigation. Of course not. That would impede justice. We don't want that. We want justice for Enrique Delgado Garcia. But what we're saying is, you could have let us know that you were doing everything that you could. It's like you blew off the whole idea that there was even something to investigate. You could have let us know that there was an investigation taking place. Now, unless the investigation itself needed to be under wraps in order to conduct it thoroughly and properly, I can understand that. But I'm not exactly hearing him say that. But maybe he doesn't have to, you know? I'm just saying that, and who knows, maybe the person who had the video was told, if you release that video, you're risking costing him justice. That's a possibility. But I'd like to see that. I'd like to know that happened. Because other than that, I mean, bro, y'all are killing me with this.
Outside influence. Given some of the challenges posed by the investigation, early last year, I sought judicial approval from the Chief Justice of the Superior Court to impanel a special statewide grand jury in order to conduct an independent fact-finding investigation into the circumstances surrounding the death of Enrique Delgado Garcia. The impanelment of a special statewide grand jury enabled us to compel the testimony of witnesses, to memorialize testimony under oath, to subpoena relevant documents and information, and to gather the facts in a formal proceeding before an independent body. At each stage of the process, the investigative team and I met with the family of Enrique Delgado Garcia to update them on the status of the investigation. We met with the family this past weekend, and we spoke to them this morning. Over the course of the past 9 months, the grand jury has heard sworn testimony from over 150 witnesses, the vast majority of whom have been state police officers. And the grand jury has reviewed close to 350 physical exhibits, the vast majority of which relate to policies, procedures, activities, and events at the State Police Training Academy. The evidence gathered by the special statewide grand jury has revealed that in the days and weeks prior to September 12, 2024, members of the State Police Training Academy committed a series of wanton and reckless acts in connection with various defensive tactics and physical confrontation training exercises conducted at the academy. The facts and circumstances underlying the wanton and reckless conduct include both A, affirmative acts by academy staff, and B, the failure of academy staff to take certain actions or omissions that they had a legal duty to perform during their daily interactions with the trainees, who were under their care, guidance, and supervision. The wanton and reckless conduct resulted in Enrique Delgado Garcia suffering concussion-like symptoms as a result of unauthorized, unapproved, and unsupervised
Stop it, y'all. Y'all are
exercises
fucked
that
up.
occurred during academy training activities on Wednesday, September 11, 2024. The wanton and reckless conduct culminated in Enrique Delgado Garcia suffering multiple blunt force injuries to the head and massive brain bleeding as the result of the failure of academy staff to intervene and bring a stop to a competitive boxing match between Mr. Delgado Garcia and a fellow trainee that occurred during academy training activities the following morning.
Thank you.
On Thursday, September 12,
Unit for
2024.
normalcy.
Mr. Delgado Garcia died the following day, September 13, 2024, as a result of the head injuries sustained during the recruit-on-recruit boxing match that Thursday morning. Based upon the facts and the law, the evidence gathered by the grand jury compels criminal prosecution of certain members of the Academy's Defensive Tactics Unit, the supervisor of the unit, and 3 full-time instructors. These individuals engaged in ongoing interactions with Enrique Delgado Garcia on September 11, when he suffered concussion-like symptoms, and on September 12, when he was knocked unconscious. These individuals also had direct management and direct control over the physical training exercises themselves.
So what that's implying to me is that they could have helped him, and they probably did something like, yo, rub some fucking dirt on it. Get over it. When he was saying, yo, I'm fucked up. I'm in bad shape. They could have helped him, and they didn't. That's what it's coming off like. But I'm just speculating.
Actually and legally, each of these individuals owed a duty of care to Enrique Delgado Garcia and to his fellow trainees. Each of them interacted with Mr. Delgado Garcia and his fellow trainees on a daily basis. and each of them committed a series of wanton and reckless acts and omissions that resulted in Enrique Delgado Garcia's death. Given their roles and responsibilities on the Defensive Tactics Unit and their control over the training exercises, the wanton and reckless conduct committed by these individuals violated two criminal statutes in particular. General Laws, Chapter 265, Section 40, alleging the crime of causing serious bodily injury to a person participating in a training program involving physical exercise, and General Laws, Chapter 265, Section 13, alleging the crime of involuntary manslaughter. In addition,
Listen, can we talk about the tarantula in the room? Like, I get it, y'all, but Jesus fuck, y'all are the worst. Y'all are the worst. I get it. That's clearly a rug. I get it. I can see that. We can all see that. But like, I've been waiting for answers for this case for so long, and you guys are distracting the shit out of me talking about this guy's fucking rug.
the evidence demonstrated that when the supervisor of the Defensive Tactics Unit was asked specifically under oath before the grand jury when it was that she first learned about Enrique Delgado Garcia's concussion-like symptoms, she repeatedly responded falsely. Given the circumstances of this investigation,
Wait,
and the
what?
nature of the information at issue, her testimony before was demonstrated that when the supervisor of the Defensive Tactics Unit was asked specifically under oath before the grand jury when it was that she first learned about Enrique Delgado Garcia's concussion-like symptoms, she repeatedly responded falsely. Given the
Wow, so she lied. So they're saying she testified, the supervisor of the Defensive Tactics Unit that teaches the supervisor, she was asked during grand jury questioning when she knew about his concussion, she knew about his injuries, and she lied to the grand jury. That's a fucking big deal. That's crazy.
Circumstances of this investigation and the nature of the information at issue, her testimony before the grand jury violated General Laws, Chapter 268, Section 1, alleging the crime of perjury. Now, each of these charges are merely accusations. Each of these individuals is presumed to be innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. These individuals have not been and will not be arrested. I have requested that the court issue a summons for their appearance at an arraignment hearing to be scheduled in the near future in coordination with the court and with their individual attorneys. With respect to each of these charges and each of these individuals, I have intentionally not referred to any of the specific underlying facts that were gathered and considered by the grand jury. Given my ethical and legal obligations, this is neither the appropriate time nor place to do so. Given the paramilitary structure of the State Police Training Academy, various members of the Academy command staff had the authority and the ability to address many of the circumstances surrounding Enrique Delgado Garcia's death. At the same time, the evidence before the grand jury demonstrated that the nature and extent of their personal knowledge, personal involvement, and personal participation in the specific acts and omissions that resulted in Enrique Delgado Garcia's death were insufficient to support criminal charges. Based upon the evidence, a reasoned and responsible evaluation of the facts and the law does not support criminal prosecution
Thank
of
you,
members of the
Nanny
Academy's
and
command staff,
business.
nor does my professional respect for and commitment to the rule of law. Insofar as I've shared with you generally that certain wanton and reckless acts and omissions compel the criminal prosecution of certain members of the Academy's Defensive Tactics Unit, I want to ensure that certain additional facts are made abundantly clear. Based upon the testimony and the exhibits before the grand jury, there is no evidence that Enrique Delgado Garcia was targeted
facts.
in any way. There is no evidence that anyone, Academy staff, fellow trainees, or any others, harbored any personal animosity towards Enrique Delgado Garcia. There is no evidence that anyone acted with deliberation, premeditation, or malice.
Right. This seems like a case of a training exercise that went too far. And when I say training exercise, I'm just being technical. They were probably fucking around. You know, bunch of fucking testosterone. They're boxing. This is what they're looking forward to when they're in the police academy and they want to train. Right? Big fucking tough guys are like, oh, all right, boxing. Wait till we get in the boxing ring. Blah, 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 blah. All that kind of shit is probably going on. Yeah, I know, Dina. Thank you so much. Supervisor was on Boston. Yes, we're going to get into that. Thank you. So, now, I mean, come on, Dizzy. Like, that's too much. Like, relax. You know, with the whole fucking. That's let's color within the lines here right now. But I do feel like there was some tough guy shit going on, and they were fucking around, probably betting money or some stupid shit like that. And shit just went too far. Or, you know, maybe they were hazing. Maybe it was a hazing situation that went too far. But the most important thing to take out of this is that he could have been helped. Apparently, based on these charges and the way this gentleman's talking is, he could have been helped, and they didn't. The people that could have helped him and who were charged with the task, they were tasked with the responsibility of helping him, didn't when they could have.
One final comment. I take no personal satisfaction, none, from where these facts have led. But I am confident that the investigative team and I have carried out our assignment professionally, responsibly, and independently. And I am confident that we have done so the right way and for the right reasons. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, in Boston, I'm sure it's tough, man. Cops investigating cops, dude. You know, charging somebody like that's probably, and for all we know, this is some shit that takes place at the Massachusetts State Police Academy, you know, for fucking decades. This has been the way. And then somebody fucking died. You know? Somebody fucking died. And now this guy has to charge somebody, and he doesn't want to, you know, because of the way things have always been done. Now somebody's died. And I see, I don't know. I don't know if there's way more going on. But yeah, we do have questions. Joy Schmeyer gifted 10 memberships, people. Holy. You saw I tagged that? I was like, holy. Right. This is definitely progress. And what I think is this Enrique's death was a product of some good old boy bullshit that we're all fully aware of that takes place in the Massachusetts State Police. And they're nipping it in the bud. Somebody has to be accountable. Somebody died. Somebody has to be accountable. Simple. And the fact that they're holding 4 people accountable, I think, is a win for now. For now. But I also think that there's another reason for this. Because things like this usually take place. Things where there are political tentacles take place usually when timing is convenient. And this whole new Norfolk County DA talk that's been happening a lot, been buzzing a lot all over the Twitters, probably had something to do with this. If I had to guess. Now, I don't know, and I couldn't tell you what the connection is. Grant could. I wouldn't count on it. But, you know, I mean, there's always a convenient timing for these things.
Thank you, Attorney Meyer. I'm happy to take a few questions.
Attorney General, a comment on the trainee who was involved in this boxing exercise. Any consequences for the investigation?
Not in this investigation.
And,
and I will just share what's being shared right now from the team is more detail on the charges and those who the charges are being brought against.
And Attorney General, when it comes to this investigation with the cost reaching $700,000, can you speak to the taxpayers on that investment and the results that were shared today?
So my job in this case, given the conflict that existed for DA Early, was to ensure that the family got an independent investigation that would be thorough, that would be handled well, with integrity, a standard of excellence, and devoid of any conflict or appearance of conflict. By reputation and integrity, David was one of the folks I considered and ultimately hired him knowing he would do a thorough job in following the facts, the law, and of course reporting to the public where appropriate where his investigation is led, which he's done today. He gets nothing out of this. He charged below market rate to ensure that a thorough investigation was done, and that's exactly what happened here, and that's what the family deserved.
Do you expect there to be any kind of report issued about criminal findings? Like Attorney Meyer mentioned that there might not be cause to prosecute other folks, but just do we get more information about what else is going on?
So it's an ongoing investigation, and as it unfolds, Attorney Meyer, and where appropriate, either together or separately, will continue to update the public on what can be shared. It's obviously an ongoing investigation, so we have to be extremely careful. That being said, Attorney Meyer was tasked with an independent investigation to look into the facts and the circumstances surrounding Enrique's death, and that is what he has focused on. In addition to that, I also think it's equally important that the administration, EOPS, MSP, which I know Colonel Noble is already doing, look at reforms to bring about. I know that is underway, and I fully support the Colonel in those endeavors as they go forward. And of course, as more becomes public and able to share, I will do that.
What is the current status of these troopers? Are they currently on the force, or are they on?
That's a question for MSP.
Are you able to share where they will be summoned and who will be taking over the case or who will be reading the case?
The indictments were just unsealed this morning, and as I indicated, we just had an opportunity to meet with the family over the weekend and again this morning, and the court process will then undertake, and as I said, I've been in contact with counsel for each of these 4 individuals, and we will coordinate with the court to schedule an arraignment hearing in the near future.
David, can you expand a little bit on the perjury charge? I know you can't go into too many underlying facts, but how serious is that in your mind, a sergeant committing a perjury on this?
Well, I'm not going to offer any of my personal opinions, respectfully. I think I outlined within my ethical and legal parameters and obligations what the allegations are.
Y'all are haters, bro. I think that dude's fucking hair is amazing.
Everything else will play out in court.
David Campbell, how about you? Do you want to comment on a state police sergeant committing perjury allegedly in this case?
I would just echo what Attorney Myers echoed to ensure that this case continues to unfold, respecting the rights of all involved, and of course due process. More will be shared as it unfolds in the courts, and he will share more when that's appropriate.
That's the last question, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Y'all are haters. All right, hold on now. So I've got the indictments here for these folks. It's not a lot. I'll just read it. It's prepared remarks for independent counsel David Meyer. On the day that I was appointed as independent counsel, I made a commitment to the family of Enrique Delgado Garcia, to the Massachusetts State Police, to the public, and to the criminal justice system that I would conduct the investigation professionally, thoroughly, and independently. I pledged to follow the facts and the law, to perform my work conscientiously and responsibly, and to exercise my independent judgment to reach whatever. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't need you to promise to do your job, bro. Like, I need to know. All right, let's get to this. Over the course of the past 9 months, the grand jury has heard sworn testimony from over 150 witnesses, the vast majority of whom have been state police officers, and has reviewed close to 350 exhibits, the vast majority of which relates to policies, procedures, activities, and events at the State Police Training Academy. The evidence gathered by the grand jury has revealed that the days and weeks prior to September 12, 2024, members of the State Police Training Academy committed a series of wanton and reckless acts in connection with various defensive tactics and physical confrontation training exercises conducted at the academy. The facts and circumstances underlying the wanton and reckless conduct include both A, affirmative acts by academy staff, and B, the failure of academy staff to take certain actions or omissions that they had a legal duty to perform during their daily interactions with the trainees who were under their care, guidance, and supervision. And this is what I was saying back then. I was like, there has to be somebody. Who are the instructors? If you guys remember, when I covered this case when it first happened, I would constantly say, I want to know who was in charge. Who were the instructors? If this is a training exercise, there had to be supervisors and instructors involved. Who are they? Where were they? So, the wanton and reckless conduct resulted in Enrique Delgado Garcia suffering concussion-like symptoms as the result of unauthorized, unapproved, and unsupervised boxing-related sparring exercises that occurred during academy training activities on Wednesday, September 11th, 2024. The wanton and reckless conduct culminated in Enrique Delgado Garcia suffering multiple blunt force injuries to the head and massive brain bleeding as a result of the failure of Academy staff to intervene and bring a stop to a competitive boxing match between Mr. Delgado Garcia and a fellow trainee that occurred during Academy training activities the following morning, Thursday, September 12th, 2024. Mr. Delgado Garcia died the following day, September 13th, 2024, as a result of the head injury sustained during the recruit-on-recruit boxing match that Thursday morning. Now, that's interesting because the picture that they're painting here, and my imagination is obviously going wild, is that there's some sort of cockfighting situation going on here. You've got trainee versus trainee, but you've got supervisors that are involved. But it's not during a training exercise. It's not sanctioned. It's not on the schedule. It's unscheduled. So it was like, okay, you two got a problem with each other, then take it to the boxing ring, right? Now that doesn't mean that there's a fight club, Dizzy, but there was definitely something that was unsanctioned taking place here, and the supervisors knew about it. So it sure as fuck seems like there was, okay, you guys got issues, put on some boxing gloves and get in the boxing match, and get in the boxing ring and settle it there. And then it went really, really far, and nobody put a stop to it when they could have, when they should have. It was not a fucking fight club. Bro, if I hear fight club in this case one more fucking time, if I hear the word swinger one more fucking time in the Karen Reed thing, swear to God, bro. Exactly. And please, thank you, Gen X Erica, for reminding everyone what the first fucking rule is. Jesus, people are fucking thick. Okay. Thank you, Cherry. Got it. Anyway, are we all caught up? Yeah, so clearly it sure as hell seems like there's fucked up going on here that shouldn't have been happening, and it did. And as a result, Enrique suffered a concussion, and he wasn't cared for, and as a result, he died of complications. Based on the facts and the law, the evidence gathered by the grand jury compels criminal prosecution of certain members of the Academy's Defense Tactics Unit, the supervisor of the unit, and 3 full-time instructors. These individuals engaged in ongoing interactions with Enrique Delgado Garcia on September 11th, when he suffered concussion-like symptoms, and September 12th, when he was knocked unconscious. These individuals also had direct management and direct control over the physical training exercises themselves. Factually and legally, each of these individuals owed a duty of care to Enrique Delgado Garcia and his fellow trainees. Each of them interacted with Mr. Delgado Garcia and his fellow trainees on a daily basis, and each of them committed a series of wanton and reckless acts and omissions that resulted in Enrique Delgado Garcia's death. That means that somebody was asking questions and lied when they could have helped him. Not just ignored the fact that he needed help, but somebody was trying to help him and they omitted things, meaning that they kept things, maybe just the fact that he was in a fight. I don't know. Nanya Business, thank you so much. But can we talk about Hair Club? Not at the moment, but thank you. Yeah, I mean, when you look at his injuries, I mean, he couldn't have been. Okay, let's think about when you think about his injuries and how beat up he was. Was he conscious? Was there a little network of people that were plotting on how they were going to cover this up when they could have been helping him, but he was unconscious? Did they fail to call an ambulance, send him to the hospital when they could have, out of fear of whatever they were doing being unsanctioned would be uncovered? This is fascinating. Because now I got a lot of questions. Factually and legally, each of these individuals owed a duty of care to Enrique Delgado Garcia and his fellow trainees. Each of them interacted with Mr. Delgado. Okay, I already read that. Given their roles and responsibilities of the Defensive Tactics Unit and their control over the training exercises, the wanton and reckless conduct committed by these individuals violated two criminal statutes in particular. I'm not going to name them because it doesn't matter. But it says alleging the crime of causing serious bodily injury to a person participating in a training program involving physical exercise. So that's one charge. And alleging the crime of involuntary manslaughter. That's another law that they broke. In addition, the evidence demonstrated that when the supervisor of the Defensive Tactics Unit was asked specifically under oath before the grand jury when it was that she first learned about Enrique Delgado Garcia's concussion-like symptoms, she repeatedly responded falsely. Given the circumstances of the investigation and the nature of the information at issue, her testimony before the grand jury violated blah, 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 which is alleging the crime of perjury. Each of these charges are merely accusations. This guy basically read this shit out loud. Homeboy with the hair. And I'm going to get this out of hair. There we go. But there is an interesting twist to this. Thanks to the investigative journalism of Mr. Media, Dr. Turtleboy, Aiden Carney. Fascinating. Why is that not coming up? That's weird. Maybe he's... Okay, let's do this. There we go. All right, so here we have a post from Aiden saying State Police Sergeant Jennifer Penton was charged today with perjury, involuntary manslaughter, and causing serious bodily injury to a person participating in a training program. She lied during an investigation into trainee Enrique Delgado Garcia's death. Prior to becoming MSP, she was a Boston police officer, folks, and was featured on the show Boston's Finest, yes, with Brian Albert. Peaches, member for 14 months. Thank you. It's sad they needed to get their own investigator. Agreed. Delgado Garcia wasn't murdered, yet she still lied during an investigation into his death. If you don't think these people are capable of covering up the deaths of cops when other cops are involved, then you are naive. She learned from the best. I mean, it can't be a coincidence, folks. You know what I mean? These people do things a certain way, man. You know? Like all of the pattern of behavior is there. The pattern of behavior is there. So it'll be interesting to find out. I mean, the one person who worked with Brian Albert on Boston's Finest, and then there's a fight. Brian Albert, seemingly, according to the waterfall footage video, seemingly when Higgins was trying to pick a fight with John O'Keefe at the Waterfall Bar and Grill, Chris Albert was trying to calm Brian Higgins down, and then Brian Albert intervened to almost seemingly reprimand Chris Albert, and then everyone ended up back at Brian Albert's house, where Brian Higgins texts John O'Keefe and says, "You coming here?" Fascinating. And here's this woman who now there's a fight that takes place at Brian Albert's house, right? And then now there's an unsanctioned fight where she's the supervisor. An unsanctioned fight between two trainees. I need to stop saying unsanctioned because it sounds like a sporting event. An unregulated, an unscheduled fight, unscheduled training. And she repeatedly lies to the grand jury. And she has the most charges over anybody. It's incredible. We'll be following this closely. Yeah, no charge for Brian Albert lying on the stand. Hella serial killers, huh? In Massachusetts? I don't know. Yeah, this is just wild, dude. All right, people. The phone lines are now open. We'll take a couple calls. Yeah, I find it incredible. I find it absolutely incredible. And who knows, man? But why no murder charges?
Call from
Jeremy.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Will, it's Jeremy from Sacramento.
What's up, Jeremy from Sacramento? How are we doing, buddy?
Doing well. So I've been dying to call since the other night. The late night stream just had me dying so much. Oh my gosh, cracking me up. The whole bit on the JFK staying in Brian's corner of the room.
Randall.
And the other thing is that even your Boston accent is actually more pronounced than JFK's at times. Like, you nail it.
Yeah, you gotta be considerate. You gotta talk quiet because you don't want to wake him up. He's sleeping so sound. Exactly. Yeah, you gotta be considerate. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. What the fuck is going on there? And so far, let's just be honest here. So far, the Free Karen Reed community has been right about everything that we've had questions about. You know? Okay. No, sorry, the people couldn't hear you, but now they can.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I heard everything you said, but yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right about all that.
Oh, I was just telling him that I was dying laughing about the whole thing the other night, the whole stream about JFK talking real quiet and the haberdashery and shoving the toupee in Brian's mouth and snoring.
Exactly. You're right. That stuff is important, bro. That stuff we got to be, we got to be careful, and we got to make sure that Brian gets enough sleep.
Like, yeah. And then the whole clown thing, you are a clown, and the blast thing. Like, is that supposed to be offensive? Like, I'm expecting to hear like the clown horn, like the anyway.
Yeah.
Like, what?
No, yeah, they're just fun now. That's all. Just fun.
And even today, when I'm like, wait, I think Will might be onto something about James Jackson is actually being manipulated. He's held hostage. We got to free him.
We got to free James Jackson. Like, we're going to create the Glare Members Only platform as a safe space for James. That's what we're going to do. It's important because we're victims advocates here. Well, I am a self-proclaimed one, exclusively advocating for
and
Jackson.
That's why I said you were trying to say people at the beginning about Kelsey, and whether you support someone or not. It all boils down to clear due process violations. We all live in the same constitution, so we all deserve it.
Right. I mean, what was this lady thinking that she's just going to roll up in this probation officer's office and be like, "What's going on? What? Are you crazy?"
Oh, and think about the breadcrumbs that they laid. What was it? Maybe a month ago when the video of her entranceway came out with and that officer, he's wearing the black gloves. Like, what's he up to?
Yeah.
coming into Kelsey's house like that day, and she's holding the baby. Like,
Yeah, I haven't reviewed that footage. I mean, there's not much to it. She opens the door
Right,
for him and lets him in, and he walks in, and a few other people walk in, and then that's it.
It's just a sneak peek to like. It gets you thinking, like, huh? There's got to be something.
She didn't seem aggressive at all. Nobody seemed aggressive.
Right. Well, and then like the obvious one about the, she ducked behind the door. Like, oh, that's funny. The bedroom doesn't have a door.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah, very weird.
I sure hope that something good comes out of it, because obviously we all get personally offended when we see our fellow citizens' rights getting trampled on.
I mean, right. If those are the details of the case, and this is their story, and they can't prove that stuff, I mean, the burden of proof is going to be on them, and Bradel is going to be able to point that out to a jury, and it's going to be fine. It's just that, she shouldn't have been treated like this. This judge needs to be recused off of this case. She cannot preside over this case.
Sure. And then I'm trying to, out of respect for your future callers, be brief, but to the point. One other thing was so obviously I know your background, where you came from. You speak Spanish, and I'm thinking Puerto Rico, and obviously different island, but same area. And the halftime show, I, as a musician, my mind is blown when you think about the logistics of what it takes to put all of that into the middle of the football field, and then have that high level of musicianship, and his message, like the whole alternate halftime show thing. That's like, dude, his message was, he said it right in the second song. He's like, good evening, California. I'm here at the Super Bowl 60 because I never stopped believing in myself. He won a Grammy earlier, like a week ago. And so clearly the guy, and that whole message of the whole halftime show of hardship coming up from the island. Go ahead, sorry.
I'm both Democrat and Republican today, thanks to both Bad Bunny and Kid Rock. I mean, their efforts to recruit me with their performances it worked. It worked. I'm both Republican and Democrat. I'm voting for both Republican and Democrat next time. First election.
Speaking of Kid Rock, as a musician, I'm like embarrassed that he probably couldn't hear himself because the lip syncing was out of whack and he got caught. Like, that just looks, I would be embarrassed if I had to try to lip sync my own music,
Right.
and then got caught for it. And it's, that's not good.
Right.
But I took Spanish in college, so I haven't used it in a long time, but I could tell what he was saying that whole show. It was, to me, I loved it. I loved the salsa music and the reggaeton and all that stuff, and his style of, I could tell he speaks loosely so that all the syllables rhyme or whatever, or flow. Like in his Spanish, I assume that you could understand.
We're all really glad that you did, because nobody else at the Super Bowl could. Nobody.
No, I had to put the subtitles on afterwards, but I some words popped out, and nothing offended me about it. It's like, this is badass. I mean,
I was offended at it was condescending. It wasn't okay. It's the Super Bowl. It's the biggest sporting event of the year, and the Super Bowl halftime show is supposedly a huge musical event. And traditionally, like how the Oscars used to be about, picking the best movie.
Right.
It used to be that the halftime show was about entertaining all football fans, no matter what you like. So you find somebody, a big pop artist that everyone likes and everybody can relate to and everybody can enjoy, and you entertain America. That's the idea, right? What you don't do is use it as an opportunity to shove a political agenda in everyone's face.
Absolutely, that drives me nuts. Because I didn't see the agreement, but I heard that he said something politically charged, and that might have gotten that. Absolutely, it's like that's why but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but we never listen or believe to those actors that get up there and say stupid shit that we're like, yeah, what? I know you're rich and famous, but we don't. I'm not going to change my beliefs because you said something.
Right. I mean, like, that's the whole thing. Is like, if that's what the people collectively would have wanted, cool. But it's not. Like, the only people that were excited about it were loud leftists on Twitter. That's it. Nobody else gave a fuck. Nobody enjoyed it. Nobody was like, they just enjoyed because they were like, and it was coming from an ugly place because all of them enjoyed it because they looked at it as driving MAGA people crazy, you know? And it's just like, okay, yeah, all right. You want to drive MAGA people crazy, that's fine. That's whatever. If MAGA people want to drive liberals crazy, that's fine too, whatever. But can we just like leave the Super Bowl out of it? You know, like, can we just leave certain American pastimes out of it? You know?
Right.
Like,
well, that was several years ago, that was the exact same. The whole taking a knee thing was a big reason why a lot of my veteran friends all of a sudden stopped watching football. They were like, they just couldn't take the invasion of, you know, politics into the, you know, entertainment pastime. You know, we love, like, I haven't been watching much of it other than the Super Bowl, but I get the whole sentiment. That's just the wrong place, right?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, what annoyed me about it is that as an American, I was treated like a child, you know, like I don't, okay, like I get the message. Okay, diversity, got it. You know, fuck.
Well, and then, you know, also I'm thinking, wait, do people forget that, you know, at the beginning of the 1900s, we literally like took that island of Puerto Rico and then passed the Jones Act and made it their economy expensive because like give the people a break, man. Appreciate their culture and their upbringing, right? Because they're really a part of us, right?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Which brings me to the one my ADHD would not let this go. This one word that I could not find a clear definition for was, even though the meaning was fully obvious, the malingooch.
Yeah, malangooch. Yeah. That's
the most I could find was that it's something big, dry, and hard to swallow.
either you got it or you don't. Like, there's no Googling malangooch, bro. All right, well, I'm gonna take the next caller, Jeremy. Thanks, buddy.
Right.
All right.
Yep. Thanks, Will. Have a good bye.
Bye.
Call from Crazy Brazil.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, Will. It's Crazy Brazilian.
Crazy Brazilian lady. What's up?
Yo. You all caught up?
I'm always caught up, baby girl.
No, I have a message for JFK.
You have a massage for JFK?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, dude. We all caught up on your fucking BS bullshit.
Oh, everybody is.
Gaslighting shit.
Yeah, everybody gets it now.
Oh, yeah. And you know, you pointed out, I think was not last night or maybe 2 nights ago, his face when James were doing his show, he's just sitting there, you better don't say anything that I don't approve, you douchebag. He has like that face, that sourpuss face that did like almost come but couldn't come. You know, the Viagra didn't work that time.
Have you seen this face? Like, have you seen this face many times before, Crazy Brazilian lady? You know this almost cum face? Not quite.
Yes. Yes.
and they get all sourpuss faced over it. They go.
Yes. Yeah.
This
Oh
is
my
that's.
God! I'm about to come, and then stop it. Oh, I can't.
Wow. Unreal. Crazy Brazilian lady. You're out here wilding out.
Oh no, I'm pissed off with that guy with that specimen. Talk so slowly. Oh fuck! Stop with this shit. We all cut up. That's all I have to say.
Okay, Crazy Brazilian lady. Appreciate it.
Okay, have a
Thanks
good
for
night.
calling. Bye. You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Clara.
Dina. What's up, Dina?
Hi, my favorite.
What's
Nothing.
up?
I think it's a step in the right direction in Massachusetts today to see that guy with the big fucking hairdo on talking about Enrique. I mean, it's a little bit of hope. I was excited.
Yeah.
I was at the gym. I was like, I screamed in the gym and stopped everybody because I was watching it on the TVs, and it was just like, finally. It made me feel so good for Enrique's mom because, like I said in the chat, she showed up at a stand-up we did at Morrissey's office, and she was in tears. She's such a nice lady. We got to meet a few of Enrique's family, and they were distraught, too, because they weren't getting any answers at the time at all, nothing.
Right.
And there was a huge language barrier. B from Calling All Beings, she was actually doing interpretation, with them. But
the more I think about it, the more it just sounds like they had grand jury hearings and they didn't want the grand jury hearings to get out. They didn't want anyone to know about it, so that's why they didn't address the public about it. So
right. Well, not only the public was, the family felt like they had been left out too. A lot, and
right.
I'm so glad for them because Enrique's mom is a sweetheart, so nice, and I met his uncle too, and they were thankful to all, the supporters down there, and they had asked us, don't give up, like they wanted to keep it out there, and today to me was a good day because I'm happy for them. At least it's the beginning of some sort of answers.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Like I thought that nothing was going to come of that. I honestly kind of gave up hope.
Me too.
Yeah. So I'm really happy for that family right now.
Well, maybe Jay Brillopad had something to do with it all coming to light finally.
Well,
because he is the master of all masters.
He is. He's the one who spearheads every movement because he is Jay Brill. One must recognize.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. But Clara, thank you for everything you do. I'm not going to hold up the lines because I know there's probably a ton of people trying to call in. But thank you.
Thank you, Dina. You're too sweet.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. All right. I'll take one more caller.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Donald from Worcester.
Donald from Worcester. From Worcester. What's up?
We're doing well, Clara.
We're doing good, Donald from Worcester.
Two things. The Kelsey judge. When they were doing the appeal to have her alcohol testing changed. Remember how bad she got? And she actually said to Tim Bradel, she's a defendant. Like, wait a minute. Yeah, she is a defendant.
Right, with
but
rights.
That comes with a lot of constitutional rights.
Right.
She had her guilty and like bad.
Yeah.
That's not biased?
Yeah, I'm dying to know now, like, what is her personal investment in this? And honestly,
I don't know.
I care about that significantly less than her just recusing herself and getting off the case. But for some reason, I don't think she's going to do that. So
I don't think so either. But I guess like I was listening to you earlier about the case itself, that'll play out. I'm not going to make a judgment on that. But the way that this person was treated with, she has rights and due process rights, and it was just horrible. But she had a bias. That was the one that got me, was she called her a defendant. Like, that is bad. It's when people have defendants, they have constitutional rights. That doesn't make her guilty.
Right. But I mean, yeah, it's wild, man. Have you ever heard of a judge showing up to a probation officer's office like that, but the day before a hearing to get information?
Oh, there's something going on.
Right. The fuck is that?
I hate to say it, but there's a connection somewhere.
There's got to be. I mean, there's got to be. Like, it's naive to think otherwise.
You took it too personal.
Completely inappropriate. Like, it's beyond. I mean, took what personal? Because the hearing took place the next day after she showed up to the probation guy's office. So
it's crazy.
Right. So she went there looking for answers before the hearing. And then the hearing happened, which is what you're talking about, where she fucking went nuts.
I don't understand it. I don't want to speculate, but it's almost like she knows someone on the other side and she's mad about something.
Right. I mean, there's definitely seems to be
it was still wrong.
If you're spending your personal time trying to find out answers, that means that you're personally invested somehow on some level.
And that's not what a judge does. A judge is, I judge what you bring to me. I'm independent.
Facts.
And she doesn't appear to be. I wanted to talk about the press conference today too. I thought it was with Delgado. I thought it was a very well, and I don't mean well as in good, a well scripted press conference that all the right things were said. And what really struck me was, and I kind of get it, but they said they're not going to arrest the troopers. They're going to summons them in. Okay, that's fine.
Right.
But they couldn't wait to lock up Karen Reed. Even when David Giannetti said, just let me know, I'll turn her in. We'll come to court. We're not going anywhere. And then they stake out Aiden at his kid's bus stop with the fugitive team.
Right.
Oh, my God. This just drives me freaking crazy.
It's bizarre. The whole thing's bizarre.
So that's why Norfolk County needs to be cleaned out. I hope they gets in there and cleans house.
Yeah, me too. I hope Adam Deitch absolutely does that.
If you need a second or a third in the parking lot, I'm available. I'll be retired in a few months. I'm there for you.
I appreciate it, man. I don't think it's going to come to that. These guys are cowards. It'll be okay.
Of course not. They're all talk.
Right.
They're all losers. Wicked loser guy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, always a pleasure. Enjoy Tennessee.
So I choose, Donald. I choose to help. Okay. Instead of being combative, I choose to help. And the way I'm going to choose to help is because clearly Randy's got some issues. And I want to be able to help him through that because James Jackson is seemingly under his control and under an umbrella of abuse.
It's almost like he's a Scientologist or something.
So
he's
sad.
a Scientologist.
Right. And so
I'm glad you're there for him.
Exactly. Thanks, Donald. See, no parking lot support needed because I'm going to support. I'm going to be the support for Randall and James.
You're a good lad.
Yeah, I think that marriage could be saved.
We'll catch you next time, Will LeGlaire. I love you, man.
All right, Donald. Thanks, buddy.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, folks. It's going to be it for me. I'm wrapping this one up. Thank you, Miss Cameo Middle School English. Don't get to call in this time, but great stream. Thank you so much. Guys, you have been absolutely fantastic. Thanks for hanging out with me. Maybe a petty stream tomorrow. We'll see if the weather permits. There'll be a clubber walk tomorrow morning, if the weather permits. But I'll see about doing not a petty stream, but an abuse intervention stream, a help stream. We're going to call it a help stream. Okay. We're going to do help streams now. Anyways, guys, you guys are absolutely fantastic. I love you guys very much. Remember, it only takes a second to stay safe, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.
Watch out!
Today, being retarded means leading a full life. Retarded people go to work or school just like their neighbors and come back to a real home. A supervised home, right in the neighborhood, where they belong. Being retarded never stopped anyone from being a good neighbor.